Today we are going back to the land of Thargos in the Cursed Empire. This here is the Battle Mages. I did a video a few weeks back on the heroes of Thargos, but this here is Battle Mages, where you as a mage goes, well, into battle against other mages and battling it out. The last one standing will be the winner. Or if all the cards runs out, the ones with the most life points left. Now, in this video I am going to show you how to set it up out on the table and how to play the game. The first thing we need to do is to choose our mage and then take their player card. This here would be a picture of whoever you are portraying. Up here we have the name. Down here we have a special ability. In the bottom left corner we have which element your mage belongs to. In this case, air. There are a total of 6 different elements in this game. This one here representing air. This one here representing fire, water, poison, death, and lastly earth. On your character's card you will also see your life points. And depending on how many players you are in the game, you will start with a different amount of life points. You take this little token and you put it wherever you start. This is a 3-player game, so we start at 20. But if it would have been 4 players, we would have had 18. 5 players 16, and lastly 6 players 14 life points at the start of the game. Next we need to take the rare spells and the common spells and shuffle these together. And then deal out 2 of these spell cards to each player, face down. The remaining cards should be placed face down for all players to easy reach. And then we need to take the top card and put it face up on the table. We have set up the game and we are ready to start playing. Now, during a player's turn, you will go through 4 different steps. And it's quite important that you do it in the correct order during your turn. The first player of this game is the oldest player, meaning the wisest one around the table, of course. So once you have gotten your 2 cards, you have your character, we have the cards of the center of the table, we are ready to start playing. And the first thing you should do during your turn is to draw a card, either from the face up card on the table or from the top of the face down pile. If you choose to take the face up card on the table, you need to immediately refill that spot with a new card from the deck. The second step of a player's turn is to either try to merge one of your spells with the previous player's spell cards to prevent damage, or to take damage. So let's take a look at how the cards actually work. This here would be one of the spells that you could cast during your turn. If you look in the middle of the card, you can see it says common spell, which means that, well, this is a common spell. Above that you can see the name of this spell. In the top left corner you can see which type of spell this is. In this case here, this is a earth spell. Here we have the major spell, and down here we have the minor spells. But then we also have rare spells. As you can see here, they look a little bit different. And then we have the rare spell. But as you can see on these cards, they look a little bit different, as they actually have an effect instead. The rare cards will tell you how much damage they do. But the common cards, as you can see, have no text telling you what damage they do. That's because each of these cards are worth 1 damage. If a player do not merge them together, that is, because then it will become cumulative. I will tell you more about that now. So in this game we have rare spells and we have common spells. If the player before you plays a rare spell, well, there's not that much you can do to protect yourself. But if the player plays a common spell and you have the same color but a different picture in the major spell on your hand, you can choose to merge that card that you have on your hand with the spell that the previous player had placed. In that way, the damage from the previous player's cards will add together with the card that you play from your hand, and then we will simply pass it on to the player on your left. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's say that one player plays Stone Hand. As you can see, this one is an Earth type. And if you cannot merge a card from your hand with this card, you will take 1 damage. But if you do have a card on your hand that has the same color, but a different major spell picture than the one that your opponent just played, you can play this card. Now the damage from this card, which is 1, will merge together with this card here, and now become 2. So now the damage from the first player goes to the second player that will merge it together, and the damage from these 2 cards, which is now 2 total, will go on to player number 3. But if they also have a card with the same type and color, but with another major spell symbol in the card, they can also choose to merge. So now they will merge their card with the 2 other cards as well, meaning that the damage of 2 plus 1 now has a total of 3. So all of these cards will actually merge together, and the total damage will now be sent back to the first player that did the spell. And again, if they also have another card of the same type, but with a different major spell, they can choose to merge again. And this is the way this would be sent around the mages until one sorry-ass player cannot merge a card and will have to take the full damage of all of the cards. But when you cast or receive a spell, be sure to always check your special abilities, because these might make it even worse for your opponent or better for you. If you would ever go below number 1 on your life point track, well, you would be eliminated from the game. The only way to stop damage in this game would be to merge, or by playing the rare card Cripple. Plus you also have Fusion. This card kind of works like a joker in this game and can be merged together with any common spell card. And when you eventually cannot protect yourself anymore, you would have to take the amount of damage that either the common cards have merged together or a rare card would deal out. And that's the second step of your turn. To either merge together one of your cards with the previous player's cards to protect yourself, or to simply take the damage because you can't merge or you can't protect yourself against a rare card. Now, the third step of your turn would be to play a card from your hand. But of course, if you have just played a card to merge together and protect yourself, well, you would not play a card now, because in that case, those cards would simply go on to the next player instead. But let's say that you did not merge. You simply took the damage. Then now you can play a card from your hand as well. When you play a card, you simply put it face up in front of you, and then you announce what that spell would do and how much damage. Just do not forget any special skills that your character might have. In this case here, for example, you will do +1 damage when starting a new round with a water spell. The card that you have just played in front of you goes into a discard pile, and now it is the next player's turn. And this is the way the game goes on until the whole deck in front of us have been played through. So when this is empty, the game ends. And you can win in 3 different ways. Either if you are the last one standing, meaning that the other 2 opponents, or however many you are, have been knocked out of the game, then you would win. If the deck runs out and you have the most life points, then you would win. If there is a tie, we would need to reshuffle the discard pile and make a new draw deck. And then we would keep on going until we have a winner. And that would be a full player's turn. Number 1, to draw cards. Number 2, to either protect yourself by merging or simply taking damage. Number 3, to play a card in front of you, if you have not already used a card to merge. And number 4, announce whatever the card that you have played in front of you will do. And at the end of your turn, you should have 2 cards on your hand. You cannot have more than that. If you have, you would need to discard a card. If you play Heroes of Thargos, you also get a little bonus in Battle Mages, because you actually get 5 brand new characters and 5 brand new lasting cards as well for you to use in Heroes of Thargos. There you have it, my friend. That was Battle Mages in the Cursed Empire world. This here is quite a neat little game. I mean, it does not take long time for you to learn the games, but it does take some time for you to actually get into how you can use the different combinations in the cards, how you can protect yourself, which you not always can. I mean, sometimes you will have to take damage, and you can play this game quite fast. It can be a longer gameplay. There can be new players, casual players, older players. This game is really for all. I mean, this is a game that you can just pick up on a game night, teach it how to play in minutes, and start playing within 10 minutes, I would say, even if you have new players around the table. This game is quite neat to have in the collection. There you have it, my friend. That was Battle Mages. A quite neat little card game. I quite like this one a lot. If you want to know more about it, there will of course be links down in the description. If you like my channel, why not subscribe to it, give me a thumbs up, throw in a comment, or whatever you want to do. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. But what I will ask for you is to keep on spreading that board gaming love I know you all have. Peace out, my friend.